I'm going to interview you, so action.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey everyone, Rodolfo Rodriguez here, and I'm coming to you on a Google Hangout with my good friend of many years and successful entrepreneur, Mr. Javier Ornelas. Javi, thanks for being with us today.
No,
Appreciate you
thank you.
taking the time to be with us.
Yep.
Javi's coming to you guys from Corpus Christi, Texas, and just a little background. Javi was actually a good friend of mine a few years ago when I was going through flight school. He and I were roommates, and we were very like-minded people. And I learned a lot from Javi. He shared a lot of very powerful principles and books with me that are really little did I know at the time were really making a big influence on my life. And so when I wanted to put together this interview series on interviewing network marketing leaders, I thought of Javi right away. He was one of the most impactful people in my life who truly did live by principles and not just for dollar signs. And so I'm really honored to have Javi on this webinar. I'll ask him a few questions, and he's going to share with us his secret sauce on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. And just a little more background on Javi. Javi is self-taught for the most part, and he graduated from high school and has some college under his belt. But he reads an average of 4 books a month for many years, and a lot of his success has come just self-directed, as most entrepreneurs are self-taught. And he and his family have not only been successful in network marketing, but they've been successful in both residential and commercial real estate, to have included building many plots of lands, many houses, many commercial properties, even building and running a pharmacy from scratch, from permit to operation, and being bought out by Walgreens, Bay Walgreens. So Javi and his family are no strangers to mainstream business, professional business. They've been successful in just about every venture they've been in. In addition, Javi and his family have run a nonprofit organization in honor of their grandmother for the last 3 years that has gifted many charitable items and toys to small children during the holidays. So they are also not a stranger to giving, which is important. Javi currently is focusing on leadership and building leadership inside his community, inside his churches, and inside of nonprofit organizations. So so listen up. Javi has a lot of wisdom to share with us, and I'm humbled to have you here, Javi. So please, can you tell us a little bit about, I know I kind of gave a little background on you, but can you tell me a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah. Well, it all started when I was 17 years old. I've been an entrepreneur ever since I started working. My dad had quit his job of working, 68, 70 hours a week, and he decided to be an entrepreneur right when I hit the age of 16. So I never really worked for anybody but myself. So right off the bat, I mean, I never had the fear of taking risks because everything we did was, just prosperous. But the main thing that really got to me is when I was 18 years old, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and following his principles and understanding how to leverage money and how to utilize your work to where it's progress and it's not busyness is where everything started. Just the foundations of learning to let money work for you and not you work for money, and starting the right way is the right way to get it. Because once you start attaining the money and you can start using your money to work for you, your actual labor gets less intensive, and it just becomes more of just leverage than anything. So, but as we kept going, the companies and everything growing, time after time, it just became more principle values of just little teachings here and little teachings there. Expensive purchases or small purchases, they're all the same. It's just a matter of technique and principle. So, anything
Awesome.
else on that question?
Yeah, so I'm just recapping. I'm hearing you got started at a very young age. Your dad um, became an entrepreneur right when you were around 17, and you never really and you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and you understood that, hey, it was all about that building, having that business that was going to create leverage for you in your life, and you were never really drawn into the idea of the rat race. I mean, you kind of preemptively at a young age already knew that a job, it wasn't going to get you where you wanted to get to in life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so, Javi, what advice would you give to someone who is getting started, who's just now getting started in network marketing?
Well, in the network marketing business, the one thing I got to say that's most valuable, and this is also a Kiyosaki book, is the business school for people who want to help people. What you're looking for in networking is you're looking for something that's going to teach you. You're not necessarily looking for a certain product. Everybody's going to have the next up-to-date product. They're going to have the next hot shot thing, this and that, and all this stuff. You want to look for a company that's going to teach you the proper values and the proper education that you need to be a people person, because this business is about people. It's not about product, and it's not about selling product. It's about teaching people the information that you have, so you can leverage yourself. You have a big enough fulcrum, and you can move the world. So that's the main key that you have to focus on.
Excellent. So I'm hearing getting started in your network marketing business. It's not necessarily about the product you're selling or the compensation plan or any of that stuff. It's really about the training and education that you're going to get as a network marketer, and to make the most of all that training that your company offers. And if it doesn't offer that training, it's important to go out and look for it, seek that mentorship, seek that training, because that's really the most valuable thing we can train it ourselves, right? Our own personal skill sets,
Yeah.
which once we have them, we can leverage them over and over and over and over again to help as many people as possible.
Yeah, everything is a system basically, and so what you want to focus on, especially in the new technology and how things are coming about to be in this day of age, is you want to focus on franchise systems. You want to focus on something that's going to be duplicatable. You don't want to focus on something that you're going to have to labor every day. If you can just implement something, if you can implement your time and effort into something that's already has a systematic based character, instead of like, hey, go sell this and go sell that and go over here and do those things, that's going to create less work for you in the future. You're going to have to work hard at the beginning, but as long as a system is in place, you'll have victory later on. So you work hard, and you find the system. You find something that can teach you a system, so you don't have to constantly be selling the product or promoting the product and all those other things. Like, the system will take care of itself, just like a McDonald's, a Subway, any kind of other franchises that are systems. There's a reason why you can walk into a franchise and everything is always the same, no matter where you are. Tokyo, Mexico, Canada, Australia, wherever you're going to be, a system will always be in place. So you want to utilize that.
Awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. A good book. I think you've read it as well. Michael Gerber, The E-Myth, harps
Yeah.
on systems. Big business like McDonald's, they are systems. They don't sell burgers. They sell systems, franchise systems to franchise owners. And those systems happen to sell hamburgers. And I think network marketing is no different. Your company more than likely has a system that has been developed by the leaders who have the experience, and that's probably, you need to learn that system, master it, and implement it. If you're not, you're trying to reinvent the wheel. And if your company doesn't have a system, get one or make one. Because, like you said, Javi, that's where the long-term leverage comes from, is working inside of a system. I know network marketing teaches a lot about being a people person and you being a leader. However, you as one human being can only move so far. If your business relies 100% on you and you don't have that system and that team in place, then when you go on vacation, your team falls apart, your income falls apart, and that's not really the goal we're going for, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So, Javi, so you just gave some great advice to someone who's just getting started. What would you say to someone who's maybe been in the business for 2 or 3 years and they're struggling in network marketing? You know, what advice would you give them to break through their struggle and get to the next level where they want to be in their business?
Well, this is just, of course, my opinion. You know, this is take it as it is you want, but through my trial and error and what I've known, if you're in a networking business and it hasn't been successful in about a year or maybe 6 months, there's got to be one or two things. And one, maybe the product is just not trending and it's just moving out, or maybe it's saturated by other products that are similar to it, and it's just too hard to make a sell. Or two, in which I know the problem is you, or the problem is me. And so the thing is, reading is so important because you have to humble yourself to knowledge, and you have to humble yourself to know that you're in the predicament you're in because you put yourself there, and the only way you're going to get yourself out is to listen to the right material and listen to the right people. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is probably one of the top 5 books to ever read. You know, The Magic of Thinking Big is second to none. You know, if I had to pick my top 5 books, the first one would be the Bible, of course. The second one would be The Magic of Thinking Big. You know, even if you're working as an employee, or you're trying to move up the scale of being a CEO or something, you got to realize that the higher you go up, it's more about people skills than it is about what you actually know about what you're doing. You know, so Henry Ford, you know, says it best: the person that knows how would always be a slave to the person that knows why. And so, if you don't humble yourself to the right information, if you don't understand that you're the problem and that you need to fix it, you're always going to be cranking the wrong wheel, and you're always going to be with that same excuse. Why is this not working? It must be something else. It must be this person. It must be this product. This is too high of a price. Or, no, the problem is you. So, I mean, that's my thing to say is you got to work on you. You got to be humble to new knowledge and new information. You know, if you think that you can succeed in life without help or without anybody, then you're just fooling yourself. So.
Wow, that's tough. That's some tough love, Javi, but I think you're absolutely right.
It's tough love, but it's the truth.
It is the truth. It is. It really is. It is humbling. Sometimes we just got to look in that mirror. I think that's one of the first things you taught me is, you know, who are you when you look in the mirror? I remember we had that discussion, and you used to write some powerful affirmations in the mirror I saw in your bathroom that I'm sure you thought of as you looked at yourself in the mirror. And the source, everything we need is already in us, you know. But we do need to look to our education, training, help, and mentorship to help bring that out of us. And that's actually the definition of education. If you look it up, it's to bring out from within. But yeah, that's absolutely right, man. If we're not getting the results that we want in our life, we need to take action and to go find someone who already has that result and get humble, get real humble, and be willing to do what they've done and ask for help.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So the good thing is that there's always a mentor that's going to be willing to help. But one thing you got to understand is this: when I first started about success and money, is you're like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody my secret because I don't want them to make my money or make money. But you know what? If you look at it in this situation, there's thousands of ways to lose weight, but yet people still don't lose weight. So you can tell people the secret to losing weight, and they still won't lose weight. It's the same thing in success. You can tell people success, and if they don't take your advice, they won't be successful. You know, but if you're hungry enough to go look for the right person that's already walked through that minefield, and all you have to do is follow their footsteps, it just becomes, you know, just commitment. That's really what the big problem comes. It's the pride and commitment of just, you know, hey, just follow in the footsteps, you know. That's what leadership's all about.
Amen, man. Um, so, Javi, what would you say from all this a life experience you've had, a school of hard knocks, and the failures that you learned from and the successes that you've had? What would you say would be the single greatest lesson that you could share with someone regarding what you've learned on your journey?
I'd have to say the greatest lesson is to understand that you have to face your Goliaths. And what I mean by that, I mean there's pride, and there's envy, and there's greed, and there's sins, and everything in the mix. And the first problem is to admit a problem. And I know it's cliche, and it seems so much, but yeah, you have to understand that in order to get better, you have to plan, do, check, and adjust. You have to be like, what is the situation? What is the problem? And let's work on it. And let's go. Like, one thing, growing up with me, I was very anti-government. I mean, Rage Against the Machines was my best band that I loved to play in. And as soon as I read this book called The Slight Edge, they told me, as soon as you don't take responsibility for a situation, you're handing over the responsibility to somebody else. So as soon as something's not your fault, you have no control to change it. And so everything has to be your fault. Everything has to be your responsibility. Because if you don't take responsibility, you cannot change it. You're not in control to change it. And if you don't change it, if you don't take the challenge to change it, then you'll be blaming everybody the whole life. And then that turns into pride, and that turns into greed, and that turns into arrogance, turns into everything. So I mean, that's one of the biggest challenges, is to accept responsibilities even when it's not your fault, even when it's not your problem. It's always your fault. If you want to be a leader, if you want to succeed in anything, if you want to accomplish anything, everything is always your fault. So you can take a handle of the situation. So, and that takes facing some Goliaths. It takes taking some controls. It takes taking your flaws and making sure that you work on your flaws. That it's a tough challenge, but that's really what it needs to be a great leader.
Amen, man. That's again some more tough loving, but you're absolutely right. One thing I read in a book as well recently, and I actually wear a wristband because of it, is as soon as we stop taking responsibility, it's like we're slitting our own throats. We've sacrificed our future to something else, some organization, some person, whatever excuse that we're making for ourselves. But you're right, exactly where we are is a result of all the choices that we've made, and that, unfortunately, most times people see the actions that they've taken if they examine themselves, but it can also come in the form of the inactions that we take. And that actually reminds me, I remember the affirmation that you had on your mirror above, and I actually use it, and I've actually taught it to many sailors and people who I've mentored. And I remember it was your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, which lead to your habits, which leads to your
results.
Character results, which leads to your destiny. And I didn't really understand it at the time. But you're hitting it home now, man, and you're absolutely right. We have to take responsibility for those results, are ultimately our character, right? And the results we produce and our destiny. And that comes, like you've mentioned before, through development of ourselves, looking ourselves in the mirror, the books we read, the people we associate with, what we're feeding our minds ultimately transmutates into the results in our lives and our destiny.
Yeah.
Awesome, Javi. Hey, man, I want to thank you so much for being with us. And thanks for all the value that you've provided everyone here. If anybody,
can I say something real quick, or?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. All the tough love and everything, and we understand, like, life isn't that hard, and don't make it that hard, like, in all honesty. And some of the good sauce that you talk about, or that you want to talk about, is yes, you take responsibility. Yes, you hit goals and things like that. But you can't be so hard on yourself. You miss a goal, and you miss a goal, and that's it. But you work hard to get to the goal. But if you miss it, and you try again. Failure is a part of success. The people think that the opposite of success is failure, and that's wrong. The opposite of success is quitting. Failure is a part of success, and so as long as you're on the right track and you have the right tools and you're on the right things and you miss a goal, then that's fine. You miss a goal, but persevere through it and just enjoy the good things. Enjoy your life, enjoy your family, and enjoy the things that are around you, knowing that you gave it your very best. As long as you give it your very best, then that's all the world can ask for you. But if you can personally tell yourself that I'm giving my very best, then don't beat yourself up. Just set another goal, hit another mark, make another step. Always work towards one step. Don't look at everything like it's a huge project. Dissect it and take it on little by little, step by step, goal by goal. And that's really where the sauce is coming from. Something like that, and have a little fun with it. And enjoy yourself. Reflect sometimes. So. But man, I thank you, and thank you for everything you helped me with, and being a part of my life and friendship. I appreciate your friendship, just like you appreciate mine. So.
Absolutely, Javi. The honor's been mine, man. You've made a bigger. Remember that phone call I gave you about a month back when I was like, "Hey, Javi, I totally just understood what you meant when you were talking about integrity at the bar."
Yeah. Yeah.
I got it like 2 years later, And
hey,
so,
as long as you got it, right?
that's right, man. That's right, and it's crazy how, like you said, the seeds that you were planting on me, and I didn't even realize. Maybe you didn't even realize it, but just your way of being. The environment that you create around yourself with the books and the positive people and the actions and the communities you were engaged in, you were influencing people around you. You influenced me. And many years later, I call you, I'm like, I get it. So I thank you, man. Thank you for the positive influence you are in the world and the difference you're committed to making. And I thank you for sharing that value with us, with everyone. And for anyone who's watching this, if you want to get a hold of Javi directly, and learn more about what he's doing to make a difference in the world and to make a difference in people's lives, reach out to him. He actually gave us his personal email to give to you guys because he cares and he wants to talk to you, he wants to help you. Reach him out at Javier Ornelas at yahoo.com. That's Javier Ornelas, spelled Ornelas, at yahoo.com. He's giving you his personal email. He's happy to to hear from you and to help you in any way he can, as he always is. So thanks, Javi, so much, man.
Yeah.
If you got any closing words, feel free to share them. If not, just want to thanks again and look forward to the next time we get to hang out.
Yeah. No, thank you. All right.
You have a great day. Konnichiwa.
You too. All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.